So tonight, we're not going to try and solve some big puzzle or break down a complicated theory. Nope. Instead, how about we go on a little journey together? A journey to the silent, open plains of South America, to a place where the earth just stretches out to meet a sky that's full of secrets. So get yourself comfortable wherever you are, and let's just drift into this beautiful and kind of mysterious legend, the legend of the Luz Mala.
Okay, so first, just picture this. Imagine a really, really deep night. You know those kinds of nights where it feels like the whole world is just holding its breath? We're way out there, far from any city noise, just surrounded by this incredible quiet.
And in your mind's eye, go ahead and look up. What you see isn't just blackness. It's like a vast, dark sea just filled with the soft glow of stars that are millions of miles away. It feels ancient, doesn't it? Like it's been watching over this land forever.
All right, now just take a second here. Pay attention to your breathing for a moment. Let it get a little slower, a little more steady. Just let that feeling of calm kind of settle in, because that's what we're bringing with us into this story. Okay, so this is where our journey really begins. We're in the vast open plains of the Southern Cone, a place that's every bit as beautiful as it is mysterious.
And the nights here, they just have this special feel to them. There's this gentle wind, you can barely even hear it. It's more like a whisper. And the silence, it's so deep, you know? The only thing that breaks it might be a faraway call from some animal. You just get this feeling of endless space all around you. It's simple, but also really mysterious. And it's right here, in this peaceful place, that a legend has been told for generations.
For hundreds of years, the people who live here, the farmers, the gauchos, anyone traveling alone through these parts, they've all shared stories about seeing the exact same thing. They talk about a single, bright light, just floating there in the pitch black. And the weird thing is, it never seems to get any closer, but you always feel like it's watching you. This is the Luz Mala, which translates to the evil light.
So that leaves us with the big question, right? What in the world is this light? Is it just your eyes playing tricks on you, some kind of natural thing? Or is it something else? What's amazing is that the stories, they all paint a very, very similar picture.
Yeah, pretty much everyone describes it the same way. It's this glowing sphere, maybe about the size of a ball, just hanging in the air. Sometimes it's perfectly still, sometimes it just drifts, and then poof, it can just vanish. And it seems to show up in a few different colors.
Sometimes it's a really sharp, pure white light, just a single bright point in all that darkness.
And other times, it has this kind of cool, bluish color to it. Gives off this soft, almost otherworldly glow.
And every now and then, people see it with this faint, kind of ghostly green light, which, really adds to the mystery of it all.
So you basically have two completely different ways of looking at this. On one hand, you've got this scientific take, hey, it's probably just a natural thing, right? Like swamp gas or will-o'-the-wisp, something that can be explained. But then you have the legend, the story the people tell, and that's a much deeper, more spiritual, and honestly, a much more chilling explanation. It's the story of a soul, a spirit that just can't find its rest.
So let's dive into that legend a little more. This is the story that gets told in whispers, around campfires, the story of the soul that can't rest.
See, in the folklore, the Luz Mala isn't a what, it's a who. They say it's the actual soul of someone who died in a bad way. Maybe they were wronged, or died with a huge secret, or holding on to some deep anger. It's what they call an anima, a soul that just can't move on.
And that connection to restless souls, it starts to make a lot more sense when you hear where this light shows up. It's not just random. People say it haunts very specific kinds of places. Places tied to, unfinished business. It's seen near old, forgotten graves, or at the site of some past tragedy, or on a lonely stretch of road where someone died without saying goodbye. And it's just there. No sound, no tracks, just this glowing reminder that something was left undone.
Okay, so what happens if you're the one who sees it? What's that like? Well, the stories people tell are pretty strange, and the advice on what to do, that's maybe even more interesting.
The way the light acts is, it's weird. It doesn't seem to follow any rules. Some people swear that if you try to walk towards it, it'll actually come towards you, like it's checking you out. But then you hear the opposite, that if you stare straight at it, it just takes off. But if you try to ignore it, it'll follow you. Some of the really old stories even warn that it can lead you into danger, like towards a swamp or a cliff. And then you hear from others who don't think it's evil at all. They feel like it's just lost, like it's asking for help.
So, what are you supposed to do? What's the old wisdom? Well, it's not what you'd think. It's not about running away or fighting it. The Gauchos believed the best defense was the total opposite of fear. It was serenity, calmness. The advice is just stay calm, don't run, don't scream. Some say you should just stand perfectly still and wait for it to go away. Others might say a soft prayer. But the main idea is that being at peace, that's what protects you, not panic.
And you know, even now, with all our science and technology and explanations for everything, the story of the Luz Mala is still here. The mystery is just as alive as ever, and as hard to pin down as the light itself.
And I mean, this isn't just some dusty old folktale we're talking about. People today, travelers, locals, they still tell stories about it. You'll still hear modern accounts from people who've been out there on those dark plains and have seen something they just can't explain.
So, we come back to that question at the end of it all. Is it just a natural phenomenon, some kind of chemical reaction in the ground? Or could it be something a little more poetic? Maybe it really is a kind of luminous memory, the memory of someone who hasn't quite found their way home. Just a little flicker of a life that's still there.
So, as you're getting ready to drift off to sleep, let your thoughts go back to that quiet field for just a moment and picture that distant light, but don't see it as something scary. Just see it as something calm and silent, just floating peacefully. Maybe that's all it is, just a little symbol, a little reminder that even when things seem completely dark, there's always something that shines. Let the quiet mysteries of the night just gently accompany you all the way until morning. Sleep well.